I just thought I'd put this on Twitter after watching America just oozing positivity once again, showing us that nothing is forever. Even batshit crazy lunatics running our country. So I wrote this. I might have to adjust some of the dialogue to suit the platform. A weight has truly been lifted. A political shift has taken place. And it's not until you hear the common sense agenda from President Trump that you realise how utterly depressing this last few years have been under the stranglehold of left-wing deteriorating governance from both sides of the House. As President Trump has read all the science and realises that China spewing out fumes whilst we crush our economies for some idiotic goal, he also reinstates his military that did not take part in the rollout and awards them years of back pay. We leave our 40,000 much needed carers in the same position as they were back then, sacked and on the scrap heap, with no hope of any remuneration. From Brexit betrayal to Black Lives Matter knee-bending political lightweights grovelling for votes amongst communities that have already ditched them in favour of religiously motivated MPs sworn in using another language, the only thing they achieved across both sides of the House with any efficiency is the swift decline of every single service, from health to education to housing to the root cause of all of it, which is immigration. This country has been cut back and given away. Real crime goes uninvestigated, and hurty words can produce a van load of cops in record time. We have a Prime Minister that cannot accept a woman doesn't have genitals. The Prime Minister has given our country a charisma bypass as investors turn away and corporations will create mass redundancies because they're hemorrhaging cash through massive tax hikes. Farmers protesting as Kemi Badenoch fails to read the room again as her ears are filled with her own importance. We had to sink this far to shake up the apathetic who are mainly responsible for all of this. You did this. You did this. You buried your heads. You wore your stupid face covers without question, and you rolled up your sleeve without stopping to think that the people who let you down on pensions, Brexit, the NHS, schools, road repairs, policing, the fire service, taxes and fines for no good reason, lockdown, abandoning the elderly, sterile funerals where loved ones were treated like toxic waste, and the bereaved stood racked with grief as isolated figures, and you actually believed you were important enough to these people who dished out medical advice based on propaganda and fear. Not one has ever apologised for actually getting it wrong and owning their mistake. Is it any wonder many people see it as deliberate? It's a good day to reflect. America already has had, after 4 years of their own version of Keir Starmer, the jet-setting Prime Minister who cannot stop shaking on a deal in unpronounceable places that inevitably end up with our taxes that we need here. Good luck, America. Britain is firmly on its learning curve. I just think it had to be said because, unfortunately, that's where we sit today. But the positivity cannot be avoided. Not now. And this is why I left this up Keir Starmer's page. This is a man who's so far down the food chain of priorities to President Trump. To get his attention, he wasn't invited to the inauguration, bearing in mind, to get his attention he's had to put a post out on his X account and tag President Trump. How sad is that? So my response to his guff congratulating President Trump when people are putting on the thread copies of tweets he's made insulting the man. I mean, really, whatever your opinion is of Donald Trump, surely if you're in office, you have the sensibilities to keep your gob shut. Clearly not. So I just thought, I think you're the most miserable leader fronting a miserable, incompetent government, backed by a miserable party that's abandoned the working man. You offer nothing but misery. Large and small businesses are turning their back on Britain. because they see you have no interest in your own people. How utterly off-putting to investors to see a government that puts its own people to the back of the queue while squandering their taxes on the stupidity of the World Economic Forum agenda. And it's only been on a short length of time, but it's had about 5,000 views. It needs to be said, because we have this opportunity. We can't avoid this opportunity of positivity now, because people will now, it's happening in Hollywood even, people are coming out supporting President Trump, where they've been supporting him in the shadows in the past because they don't want cancelling. They didn't want the woke agenda to affect their livelihood and their income. Neither did they want speaking out about things going wrong with their health, because everybody has to pay for the health insurance and certain things aren't covered by it, are they? As we know, haven't been covered since the 80s. You can't get compensation for things that you decide to put here. So the way I see it, we're on a roll now. Southport will do this man no good at all. You won't get rid of your Labour government they're in, whether we like it or not. We have to endure it. But the good thing about him being in, and whoever they replace him with, because they're all miserable and useless, in my opinion, then what will happen is people will get fed up. You don't even have to be supportive of any particular party. People will get fed up. And they will do something about it. And the only thing they know they can do is vote them out. So this positivity that also oozes from the Reform Party with Nigel Farage at the front will make Nigel Farage stronger. It will create an environment that by the time he's able to have created a party with enough candidates to take over and become a credible government, that the positivity around the world will lean towards Trump rather than what's been having this stranglehold on the whole of Europe, Canada and Australia and New Zealand. Things are changing worldwide now because people will jump on this bandwagon. Nobody wants to be miserable. Nobody wants to be led by miserable people. And the time for that is coming to an end. It might feel like a long time. We do have to get through about 4 years. We'll get there. I have absolutely no doubt about it.